Hello and welcome to day 3 of the book Advent. It's my pleasure today to be able to share with you chapter 3. So I'm going to do that by starting off sharing my screen, fingers crossed, so that you will be able to see the words as I read them along. Let me jump back to number 1. So this is chapter 3. An envelope out of place. It took a few moments for Winston to turn himself up the right way and untangle his tail. He dusted himself down and rubbed his nose. What just happened? He wondered. What was that thing that had knocked him over? He clambered back up the snow-covered pile of rubbish and looked round to find who or what the culprit was. It didn't take him long to find it, and his heart skipped a beat. It was an envelope. Winston couldn't believe his luck. Now, for most, an ordinary envelope isn't something to get terribly excited about, but for Winston, this was a real treat. Of all things to find on a very cold winter's night like tonight, an envelope, and a dryish one at that, was brilliant. He'd be able to rip a little hole in it and wiggle inside for the night. It would be like a nice papery sleeping bag that would keep him lovely and snug and out of the wind and snow. Winston sprang across the bins in several zingy leaps and picked it up. He was just about to tear a tiny hole in the side of it when something stopped him. He wasn't sure what it was, but something made his nose twitch and his whiskers tingle. He found himself turning the envelope around so he could read the writing on the front. For a mouse, Winston was very good at reading. When your bed is usually made from bits of newspaper, it's inevitable that you end up working out what all the black marks on the paper mean just to entertain yourself. Besides, getting a library card can be quite tricky when you are a mouse. Winston ran his paw across the neat handwriting. It said, "To Father Christmas, Mince Pie House, just past the snowdrift, the North Pole." Urgent, he gasped. This wasn't any ordinary envelope. It was addressed to Father Christmas. That must mean that the letter inside was very important. But what on earth was it doing, floating about and knocking little mice off their feet? Surely it should be sitting in a neat pile in Father Christmas's warm, cosy workshop right now. It must have got mislaid when the postman was emptying the letterbox, he thought. And, as much as he really wanted to snuggle inside the envelope and get warm, he knew he couldn't possibly do that. This letter needed to get to Father Christmas. "I'll take it to the letterbox and post it so that it can get to the North Pole in time for Christmas Eve," Winston said to himself. But even as the words squeaked out of his mouth, he felt that something wasn't adding up. He counted the days off on his paws to try to work out what day, or rather night, it actually was. When that didn't work, mice aren't brilliant with numbers, he quickly rummaged through the rubbish pile near him until he found the scrap of newspaper he'd uncovered earlier. It was from yesterday's edition. Winston knew that because he'd slept under another scrap of it the night before. He turned it the right way up and unfolded the soggy corner. "Uh-oh," said Winston. The newspaper was dated the 23rd of December, which meant today was the 24th, and that meant that it was already Christmas Eve. So Winston's got a little bit of a problem here. I wonder what's going to happen. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for chapter 4, or day 4 of the Advent. And all that's left for me to say is I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and we will see you very, very soon.